the pile of fuel here. All the amps. Oh man, there's smoke. Whoa! Alright, we are back here. It's another wonderful 40-degree day out here in wonderful Ohio. Nice and gloomy and windy. Just the best weather, you know, for me to be out in this unheated barn. Definitely very warm right now. So we're back here with the truck, of course, and today's goal is a small but very important step in the process. So fuel pump's bad. We figured that out in the last episode. What we need to do, find out the serial number on the engine block so I know what exactly small block Chevy V8 we are dealing with, so I can make sure to order that right fuel pump. I was looking at electric fuel pumps or just finding the replacement part. Looks like it's about the same price, $20 for a cheap one anyway, for an electric pump versus the actual part. So figured might as well do the right process, get the actual fuel pump, fix it up. So some future steps. The whole fuel system's going to need to get reworked. So bring you over here. The tank's probably going to have to get pulled out and cleaned because it has gas in it that's been sitting in there for over 30 years. Really doesn't seem like that involved of a process. There's just those bolts across, you know, since the seat's already out and the interior stripped. And, you know, obviously just getting that fuel line off and that little wire right there. But I didn't try very hard to get it off last time. I was not trying that hard for a reason because I knew I would just be able to get the fuel line off down there. But it's something, a little WD-40, a little heat, you know, I bet we get that right off there. Hopefully not damaging it too much. But all right, let's focus now on today's goal of getting that serial number on the truck and hopefully getting a fuel pump ordered. All right, so after a quick Google sesh, I found out that it's in the back corner, like kind of the most pain in the ass spot to get to. But I'm going to try to climb in the engine bay here and show you guys where the serial numbers are on the engine block. All right, I'm in the bay, and that would be it, 3970010. I have no idea what that means, but I'm going to make sure to Google it and figure it out because it's 21st century and we have Google and we can find out anything we want on our phone. All right, so what we had just found was the casting numbers, and they were kind of protruding from the block, so that's how you know they were cast into the block. Doing some more research, I found there's also the stamp numbers, which these numbers are going to give you more details like what plant it was made, what year, what application it was used for. You know, just giving me a lot more details, which I don't really need, but it'd be cool to know. So these numbers are right in here. They're kind of a little harder to read. Might have to take a picture of the letters, FO305CKL, I think. Yeah. All right, here I am in the outer part of the barn. And there is this one little thing I would like to show you. So here is this supposedly built small block sitting over here on this rack. And here are the casting numbers. So I don't know if I'd want to get into that or what, or how far this project will even go, but that is another rabbit hole we possibly could be going down. All right, so I hope you guys learned something on this little segment of the video. I think I got all I need for today. So hopefully I'll see you in the next part of this video. Hopefully it won't be too long from now, and we'll have that fuel pump and I'll get that puppy installed. All right, so I went ahead and found the cheapest fuel pump on the Summit Racing website. So that's what we're going to go ahead and order. All right, guys, we are here. It's another day, another great, beautiful, windy, cold day in Ohio. End of March, hoping for warm weather soon. But good news, got the fuel pump. So as I'm sure you just saw, we went and found out what kind of motor it is. It's a 327 small block Chevy from the 60s. And I went ahead and found me the cheapest, the dirt cheapest. The shipping was about as much as this itself fuel pump that I could find. So hopefully, at the minimum, we can get the fuel pump off. And yeah, don't have a lot of time today, so hopefully we can just get it off and see what happens from there. All right, so first steps are going to be that hard fuel line off. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it just pops right off. So here's this fuel line I was talking about. All right, so I did end up breaking it free. Thank God, because it was going to round off. It was wanting to round off more than it was wanting to come undone, but as you can see, it's broken free, so I didn't have to do any heat, just a little WD-40, and we're going to get that puppy right on out of here. All right, so as I started to say before, now that I got that bottom line off, we're going to get these two bolts out of here. You can't see it. Should hopefully pop right off, but I don't know, because again, I really have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm just get them bolts off of there and see what happens. All right, these actually popped loose surprisingly well. So let's see if I can't do this with one hand. Boom, there's one. And she should just be sitting there right now. Okay, look at that. All right, look at that, boys. Hell yeah. All right, so it's pretty important when you're buying parts is to make sure that they are the same. And when looking at them, they do look like the same thing. You know, so that is good. So gonna make sure that we got our gasket here. Oh yeah. Get our gasket, throw that on there. I am gonna go make sure and do one thing. So this line's just sitting here, obviously, and I want to make sure that there is no clogs, which I don't think there will be, but it does not hurt to check. So let me see. Let me show you how I'm going to check this. All right, now this might be a little gross to some, but it ain't no biggie. Old gas. All right, it is clear, so that's a good sign. Just one thing I wanted to check, you know, so I'm not throwing it back together and it's still not pumping fuel, and it's because this fuel line was clogged. All right, so one last thing, actually. I was looking down here, and that surface that you can see, it's kind of dirty. So I'm going to go ahead and clean it up with this brush, and to make sure that that mating surface is nice and clean so them gaskets will form a good seal. All right, so I got the gasket sitting on there. I even put a little grease on there because I guess the way this works, there's a little push rod down in there, and it pushes on this, and that makes the pump. Looking at the instructions, that is how she worked. All right, so I got the fuel pump installed. Sorry I couldn't really film the whole process. It was a lot more difficult than I anticipated. You really had to work hard to get that, make sure that push rod was seating properly on the fuel pump. So I think I got in there right, got it all tightened up, but unfortunately it's getting a little late because it was a little harder than I thought it was going to be. So that is it for today. It's a nice stopping point. I'll be back here hopefully tomorrow to finish it up and make sure to see that fuel pump is pumping fuel. Alrighty guys, so I got the fuel line hooked up, but I don't know if you guys can tell, this is not the same size as this. So this is once again going to delay us, unfortunately, but you know, you get what you pay for, and I happen to pay for the cheapest one. So I'm just gonna get an adapter for this. This is 1/2 inch, and that's 5/8. All right, so I wanted to test it because I was excited. So just to make sure that the fuel pump was working, and it is. And I can tell that by all the gas all over the ground and all over the engine bay. So, I mean, good signs. I probably knew that was going to happen, but I just wanted to check anyway. You know, you can tell I put a cup down there, you know, trying to catch it. It caught absolutely zero gas. So excited about that. Just got to get that adapter and we should be good to go. All right, I got my little 1/2 inch to 5/8 thread adapter. I am determined to get this son of a gun running on its own fuel pump. All right, maybe not its own gas tank. That's another problem in the future, but I'm determined to get it running on its own fuel pump today. For anything with liquid or air that has threads, you really want to be using a thread tape or a thread sealer. I don't have any of that, so, or none that I can find, so we ain't gonna use it today, so it might leak a little bit, but this is temporary, very much temporary. Let's go ahead and get this sucker thrown on there. All right, I don't know if you guys can tell right there, but I got the fitting and the fuel line hooked up, so we're gonna get her hooked up here to the carburetor, and should be just about ready to go. All right, now I will have to do a little bit of bending since adding that spacer, it kind of threw off the alignment here, but I'm going to get her bent up and try to get her lined up nice and good. I'm going to set up the camera so you guys can watch me struggle, unfortunately. Oh, I think I got her, boys. For the love of sweet. Started to cross thread her. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna try to get this big piece off. Hopefully that'll make my life a little easier. Shit, that busted free nice and easy. You wouldn't think it'd be this big of a pain in the ass to just hook up one fuel line. That's really all I'm doing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we got our threader threading in. Firing her back up one last time. Cranks right up. Fire right up, bud. Hell yeah. Oh, shut her down, shut her down. We are definitely leaking fuel. Oh, we're pissing fuel. Uh-oh. That ain't good. Well, I think that's where we're gonna leave her off today, but we got quite the pile of fuel here. All right, it is another day, another long time since I've been back here, but life's getting the best of me. Been a busy couple of weeks, so today I got a couple things that I want to do. So first thing on the list, I want to get that line off so I can make sure that this line is clear and there's no gunk, going to be in it when I try to actually run fuel from the tank to the carburetor. So another thing I want to do, last time there was a lot of fuel, and I mean a lot, because obviously I didn't use Teflon tape. So I went and bought me a $1 roll because, that cost a whole lot of money. And I'm going to take all this, go backwards a little bit. That's what I get for rushing. It's always best not to rush. I was just excited. And put Teflon tape on all these fittings, make sure that it is not leaking anymore. So hopefully that will be an attainable goal for today. I got a couple hours. See what I can get done. All right, so last video, you guys might remember I tried to get this fitting off. It did not want to budge, so got me a torch and some WD-40. Hopefully we can get it to move. I'm really hoping we can get it off. Get some WD-40 on there. All right, got a light. All right, let's try to just see if it wants to budge. It's not gonna budge, so we're gonna go ahead and heat this up. Right now I'm thinking maybe it's not a great idea to heat up a fuel line, but this is very old fuel, so I doubt it's gonna be really a problem. I'm gonna try not to heat the fuel tank any more than I have to. It's smoking a lot. I'm sure these fumes don't give me cancer. Oh, got something to break free. Oh yeah, got her to break loose. That's nice. It does not smell good. Make sure to actually loosen it. She's definitely hot. I'm gonna assume that it was old Teflon tape that was burning up. Oh, got her out. That was pretty easy. Let's hope that continues on, and that is a common theme for the rest of this part of the video. So I was about to blow air through that line, and I'm trying to learn from my mistakes and not get old gas all over the ground, potentially. I don't really know if anything will come out. And I grabbed a water bottle. So I got this water bottle, and I'm gonna slip this on to the end of the old fuel line. All right, got my air hose with my little attachment. Let's see what happens. It's not hot anymore. That's good. I don't know how much is enough. I'm sure that was a good amount. Let's check out, see if anything came out. Oh man, I can smell it from here. It looks like we definitely got something. Yeah, I'm glad I did that. That would not be good. You do not want that going in your carburetor. Let me tell you guys, just holding it right here, it smells fucking vile. So I'm glad I did that step. Let's put that fitting back on, make sure to put that Teflon tape on there, and we'll move on to the next goal. Okay, well that was still very tight, so that means that it's going to be a pain in the ass. It's alright, it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and get the bottom line off too, you know, just make my life a little easier to actually have the tape on. I got it off, thank God. Alright, I'm going to bring this over to my toolbox, put the tape on it. Who would ever think that this little fuel line would be such a pain in the ass? I'm going to go ahead and get some tape on here and there, and I'll call it good. I'm actually going to put the Teflon tape on this brass fitting as well. Installed. This setup might look a little bit familiar, but we got her all put together. See if she don't leak no more. Here we go. Come on. Fire up. Oh, you son of a gun. Blue ball me. Oh, man, come on now. Give her a couple. Oh, I think the battery pack's getting low too, so. Come on now. Come on. No. Oh, man. All right, I got her all hooked up, and you might see I actually got me a battery. I found this. I'm 100% sure it's dead, but it'll be there for more support. All right, let's see. We got boost chart, engine start, 12 volt, all the amps, all the amps. All right, let's crank this puppy over. Oh man, oh man, there's smoke. Man, that did not sound good, I'll tell you what. Oh. Why'd it sound like that? Positive to the positive. That is positive. I feel like there's a lot of amps going on here. I'm a green mile myself. Let's give it maybe one more shot. This might be a bad idea. Okay. All right. Bad idea. I'm gonna charge her up. See what happens, because that didn't seem like a good idea. I don't know. That wire's been worrying me from day one, but I think it's all right. I don't know what the hell's going on. All I know is that it did not sound good. All right, turn it. Whoa! All right, give it a rip. Yep. Just hold it. Okay. All right, it is another day for this video. Let's go. I think we're like at number 6 now. I don't know. It's been a while. I think today is going to be the last day. I'm finally going to get this video out. I think it's been like 2 months. Way too long, you know, got to be on that YouTube grind. But last day for the video. Got a couple things that I want to do today. There's old fuel in this gas tank. I think I'm going to try to pump it out. There's, you know, we put Teflon tape on that fitting last video. I think we're going to try to pump some fuel out of there. But obviously, how we're going to do that is we're just going to take that line off. And while we have that line off, I'm going to take the carburetor out and actually clean it, because that's something that needed to be done from day one. So that's the first thing on the list, is to get the carburetor off of there and try to clean it today, so that we can actually hit a little brap, you know what I mean? So it's just not trying to die every time we try to give it any throttle. But yeah, kind of a tall list for today, but I think it's a pretty doable thing, and we'll see how far we get today. All right, so there are some things that we got to take off here. Obviously, we got this fuel line, we got the throttle, we got the choke. That's just the cable though, and then we got a couple vacuum lines. So I think that's a vacuum line. I think that's a vacuum line. Other than that though, you know, in the spring, I think that's it. So it's not a crazy amount. Yeah, so ain't nothing to but do it, you know what I'm saying? Stuck on there. I'm gonna get dead below, try to knock her loose a little bit. Give her a little love taps. There's these two little flatheads down here. I think that's what might be holding us up. I don't know. I'm gonna loosen them up, see what happens. There we go. Money. Oh yeah, bud. Oh. Alright, we're gonna get some rags in there. Don't want to get shit falling into the intake, so you know. Alright. So this is a problem. We're gonna try to tackle this before we tackle the carburetor. Got me a nut on the other side. Luckily, I was able to find one. We're gonna put her in the vise here and try to spin that nut off, because she's stuck on there pretty good right now. That was a bigger pain in the ass. I just got her red hot with the old torch. Kind of hard to film, sorry. But she's loose now. So this is cooled off now. Bad news, good news. I got the nut off, obviously, but she's cross-threaded. So I will get to show you guys how to use a die. Don't have a lot of experience myself, but that's what you gotta do when you got fucked up threads. Also, another thing, in getting this nut off, this nut's now stuck, so that's a later problem. All right, so back here at the carburetor. So we're gonna start tearing her apart. I prefer doing no research. It's usually the best way to do stuff when you have no idea what you're doing. I've rebuilt a couple carburetors, nothing on a vehicle though, only motorcycles, a couple generators. So I don't know. Well, we're gonna figure it out though. That is for sure. This long screw came out of this hole right here, so that's important to know. This one's a little bit longer as well. So this one came out of this hole. It's a little bit longer. Oh, I was adjusting the air fuel mixture. So don't touch those. Probably not good that I was touching them in the first place. But yeah, I mean, it's really not that bad, guys. Really not that bad at all. I'll still tear apart the needle. The needle's right in here. Float looks in good shape, though. So for future reference for me and you, this is currently what we're looking at. I got these screws. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take these screws out next. Little gasket material I was scraping off. Still got a little bit left. Gonna get a brush. Get the rest of it off. So I believe this is our jet block. This gasket's in pretty bad shape. I might probably gonna order a rebuild kit. We got her apart. There was another screw. It came right off. See that? I don't know what that is. Got her nice and clean there, so that'll be good. So I think I'm gonna now attack top part of the carb with the float, the needle, this choke. Let's get this out first though. Pin slides right out, easy enough. And there's our needle. Here's our float. Needle looks in pretty good shape. Usually that'll come out. I don't know what this does. Presses in and out. We got all three parts here cleaned up pretty well. I think that's about as far as we're gonna get for today. So, jet block. Jet block, didn't really see anything clogged up here, but. So, oh, well, we can get that off. I'm gonna get this gasket off this jet block real quick. All right, now I think that is all we are going to be doing for today with the carburetor. I got everything pretty well cleaned up. Good enough. All right, so now I think we're going to go on to the maybe kind of more exciting thing of all this old fuel. Hopefully it's not too much because I only got so much junk containers to put this old fuel in and pumping it out of the tank. Yeah, so because I don't want to take the whole tank out. And I'm hoping it's not too rusty and stuff. So, all right, this is setup we're working with. That's where I'm pumping the whole fuel. I'm gonna try out this. I did a quick Google search, and I guess it goes to the starter, to the positive. I don't know. Let's give her a bump. Nope. We'll figure that out someday. I guess I'm just gonna crank away and see if fuel starts pumping into there. I just almost did a very bad thing. So I put these rags here, you know, to keep from getting any gunk in there. But guess what? They would suck in there. So I'm glad that I realized that, because that could have been very bad. Very bad indeed. So, all right, now we're gonna crank away, see what happens. All right, here we go. Come on. There is no fuel pumping. So, I mean, we had the residual fuel just from, you know, when we were running it. That's fine. So, yeah, I guess we are going to have to, yeah, starter smells hot too as well. So, we're gonna have to pull out the tank. That is gonna be it for today's video. Sorry to kind of leave you on a cliffhanger. I know it wasn't very eventful at the end of this video. You know, last day it was kind of eventful with the whole battery situation, but gonna have to call it quits. Gonna try to get this video to y'all. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and God bless America.